It's alright, I'm on time. I'm on time. We're good. We're good, I wasn't late. We're okay. So good. I made it. 5 o'clock. Well, I was live just before 5 o'clock at 5 o'clock. So, let me know if you see this. Can you guys see this? Long time no see. How's everyone doing today? You alright? Everyone okay? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I've been trying to make sure to get the audio ready. That's why I was almost late, because I wanted to make sure that the audio between the music and the sound was good. But yeah, Subtitles, welcome to SP Livestreams. We are here today for the 5K subscriber special for JHL's 5th album. It's been a while since I did the 4th, but not too long. The channel's grown quite a bit over that past little while. And yeah, thanks to everyone for your support. I can see lots of people are here for the first time, which is kind of cool. Welcome to everyone who's new, and welcome to everyone who has been following these live streams for a while. We are going to be listening through all 10 of these tracks today, so I allowed myself 2 hours for it. I want to first of all give a shout out to Solaris, who kindly helped me out with the lyrics for this album, provided all 10 tracks for me in English. Thank you to Solaris for that. If I go here, we've got these here, the lyrics, including the music and the lyrics, and it looks fantastic. I'm really thankful to Solaris for the help there, as I know that obviously when you're watching someone do a live stream, if they don't understand the language, it can be kind of rough. It can be kind of rough. But yeah, thank you to Solaris for the help there. So we have everything we need. Strap in, get some popcorn, do whatever it is you got to do. I don't know anything about this album aside from a few of bits of what people have told me. But we're going to listen through this album from start till finish today. And we're going to hear what we think. A few hundred times, but haven't heard the album in few. Well, we're going to hear the album in full today. By the way, in case you were not aware, there's also auto captions available for this review. So if you would like maybe to have the text of what I'm saying, you can always choose to have the auto captions there. I know I didn't have that sorted for the 4th album, but we do for the 5th. But it's good to see so many people online. Yeah. I made sure to schedule this a few weeks in advance so that everyone would be able to come to it if they wanted to, So it's all good. Be kind to each other, please. Please be kind. And hopefully we have a good time. So what's the name of the first song, anyways? The first song is Wo De Di Pan, My Territory, and lyrics by Vincent Fang, and music by Jay Chou. Yeah, there's lots of people today. Yeah, it's a Jay Chou album review. I have a sincere feeling that we're probably going to have the Jay Chou album reviews as the busy ones, because a lot of people came to this channel because of the Jay Chou album reviews I did, which is fine. It's good to see new people. Again, just please be nice to each other, and we'll have a great time. And I'm fine. People have been asking me if I'm well. I'm okay. I'm feeling a lot better than I did last week. Looking forward to doing Yu Xing Chang next week, which should be nice. And yeah, let's get into it. My Territory, eh? Track number 1. Boom. Let's go. Oh, this is kind of nice, isn't it? This is kind of charming here with this very kind of, a classical kind of splendor to it. Very pretty with those strings and the harps. We've got helicopters as well? Oh. I wasn't expecting the album to start like that. It's kind of sweet to have a complete mood shift there with these hip-hop oriented drums and such. What kind of accent has he got right now? Is that Jay Chou singing that? Okay, I like the way it's mixed. Again, his flow's slick. I know a few people were talking about in the previous album that he was kind of a bit of a mumble rapper. I can still hear the words clearly enough, although I suppose without an understanding of the Yang language, I can't tell if the words are necessarily coming through clearly. Yeah, true. Actually, Jacob, good point. It was mentioned in here that this track is in Beijing dialect. There are lots of and sound at the end of each word. So again, I appreciate that. It's really nice when people, again, thanks to Solaris, when people help me out with these reviews. It's nice to have that clarification, you know? Nice 5 falsetto there, a nice development here in this verse section. Again, Jay's got this fantastic way of sticking with the rap in one section and then the clean in the other. He doesn't really seem to try and flip it too much. He doesn't maybe like to keep them together, aside from when it's in an outro chorus. I think that's to the betterment, especially if we're starting to get into the album. Having too many different vocal bits at one time can be a bit rough. Solid drum groove there. Yeah, his rapping does sound a bit more punctual. It's he's got more of a percussiveness to it, and I'm liking that he's trying to differentiate between his rapping and his singing style. I'm loving the other instruments as well as a really bright, interesting harmony here and a clear distinction between the musical motifs in the chorus and the verse sections. It's 5 o'clock in New Zealand, so it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And that guitar line that's repeating there, looping and exploring the fretboard is fun. And again, there's this really cool way of having these little rises like that, ba-da-da-da-da-dum. You know, that's a fun way to seg into a new section. And sometimes it's the DJ scratches on the extreme left and right of the stereo field. There's no filler in this track, to be fair. Cool, I'm glad we're changing here with the piano parts. You know, like I would have been disappointed if we'd had more of the same of what we had previously. While I enjoy the comping, the accompaniment, and the verse and chorus sections, I feel like Jay needs to do something different here to keep things sort of sounding fresh and to show maybe a change in the story if there is one. Well, interesting. Not necessarily chromatics, but I can hear some electronic elements combined with the sort of neoclassical piano. It's kind of a nice touch. Oh, that's a fun texture there. Okay. Alright. Okay, I'm okay with that transition. I'm alright. Again, we're obviously trying to fit it into that 4-minute mark there, that sweet spot of 2 to 4 minutes for these singles. It's a commercial track for Chinese Mobile. It's an interesting decision to have the arpeggios on the harp on the left and that constant quarter note, wah, wah, wah. Oh, is that an eighth note groove? Interesting. What is the tempo? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. Okay, he's looping back to himself with that melody. And there's little articulate drum fills in there at the halfway point. They're repeated, but they're nevertheless catchy, and they serve to split it in two classily. Nice little bit of personality to this with those ers, you know. Again, I'm not really sure why there's like helicopters in there, but I'm sure someone will help me to... I'm sure that someone will help me to understand that. But that was a cool first track. I'm going to give that a heart. I enjoyed it. Again, I'm wondering if it's a situation where like I will like particularly like the less played part ones and maybe be like kind of okay with the most played, as that's how it was with the previous albums. Brainwashing people in 2004. Yeah, I can understand why that would get stuck in people's head. It's a fairly catchy melody, eh? Sup, Junji Huang, how you doing? Again, welcome to everyone who's joined the stream. It's good to be here. We got Wodedi Pan, My Territory. Again, lyrics by Vincent Fang and music by Jay Chou. Okay, so I'll try and keep these lyric sections brief just because I know that it can be kind of dry otherwise. But you know, I just want to make sure I understand what the songs are about before we move on to the next one, you know? Future is difficult to predict, so persist in the current choices. You have to listen to me. The beats are provoking. I flirt with street dance. I irrigate my principles, nurture a type of uniqueness. If the concepts fail to make the grade, everything else is all garbage. So what if it isn't good enough? It's not worthwhile at all. Your first Jay Chou song ever listened. That's crazy. And good morning, Lou Cyril. How you doing? Pigeons in the square occupy the front page of newspapers. Appreciate the way I am when boxing. Stand classroom box style away a consistent line. Yet I want to play monkey instead. Yeah, I have a feeling it's kind of targeted at kids. It talks about people playing online games and needing courage to perform in public. I use images of monkey fist to practice to get your attention. I feel it's interesting. Don't be stingy. Youth is pure innocence. Like a land of green outside the window, I open the door, memory, and record all that has occurred. I use my mobile phone to send Chinese words. The connection speed would really make you put up your thumb. Life should not have equations. Life should not have equations. Okay. My auditory sense search for joy. It's kind of crazy to think about phones back in like 2004 because phones back in 2004 were bricks, dude. Phones in 2004 were not that good. Were there Blackberries back in 2004? What were phones like in 2004? Yeah, I have a feeling it is. Talking about street dance and its type of uniqueness and talking about, you know, grades and classrooms. Yeah, I can totally understand why it's marketed to kids. Okay, so this is definitely a track that's made for, like, mobile phone companies. And it's talking about the stuff that the kids are up to nowadays. And he does a little plug of it at the end where he's talking about how his mobile phone's connection speed is going to make you happy. Cool. It's a fun one to start with. My Territory. It's nice to create a world within the song, but also to cater to the people that he's working with, you know. It's a cool start to the intro. Kind of a ballsy move having a song for a commercial at the start of an album. Nokia. Yeah, that's true. Nokias were at the start, weren't they? Yeah, Nokia phones. That Nokias were like the ones you could throw against a concrete wall and they wouldn't even chip a little bit, eh? Man, I miss my Nokia phone. But I'd give that a solid, I quite enjoyed that out of 10. We've got the next track, though. What is the next track of this album? Hang on. I forgot about this part. I can freely dance ballet, following the beat, releasing hands, quieting down like a swan tipping toes in this quick... Can still say love in a naive way. There's lots of different... There's lots of different things being discussed here. I'm trying to find a cohesive way of following through it, but I think he's just talking about a bunch of different stuff that might appeal to the people involved. There might have been like a more subtle nuance to the story, but I need more time to kind of listen through it and sort of feel it. The music's fairly neutral. It there's some traditional stuff that I'm hearing, but at the same time, the hip hop, the DJ scratching and stuff is very current for that point in time. Nokia and Snake game. That was the stuff. The Snake game was the stuff, dude. 2G network, dude. 2G networks. I remember here in New Zealand, we were like, that was the big technology, 2G. And then 3G came along and we didn't think we'd be able to cope with it. And now we got 5G and nobody cares because we've already had so many damn Gs. But this is the second track. We've got Orange Jasmin by lyrics by Vincent Fang and music by Jay Chou. So that's cool. Explosion. Yeah, apparently this is quite a famous one, isn't it? This is quite a big one. This one at 30 million plays. And as I have been reminded before, just because it's on Spotify doesn't mean that's indicative of the amount of attention it received. I understand that some of Jay Chou's songs have been listened to hundreds of millions of times, for good reason. The one of the most popular Chinese songs in 21st century, if not the most popular one. Yeah, 30 million plays. That's quite crazy. Let's go. Let's do it. If this is the best song, then it better be damn good. Okay, there's a nice, simple, easy to follow melody on top of the drums and the other accompaniments. Let's see what Jay Chou does next. Oh, this does sound like an end of concert song, to be fair. Nice little turn with the strings there. He's a lot more gentle in this one. This does sound like more of a ballad, but at the same time, there's nothing cheesy about it. It seems like Jay is having a very authentic experience here. Oh, nice dip there. Oh, nice timing. Full response. Lovely ascension there in their vocal harmony there. Interesting bass line there. We're not just rolling with the four chords. We're adding some sort of twists and turns in there. It feels like every iota of this track so far has been carefully considered. This has that sort of X factor in it. Not that I'm saying that the other tracks don't, of course. But I genuinely feel like this is on par with what I've heard previously from Jay Chou. It's lovely with the guitar, drums, and side pan vocals. It's beautiful, to be honest. I'm looking forward to listening through the lyrics in that case. It really makes me happy to know that the lyrics are that beautiful. If people are telling me that before I even get to read them, you know, you're off to a good start, right? He still sounds comfortable in his vocal range there. Oh yeah, that's her in there. Again, like, I hear that in some anime theme tunes nowadays. You know, that bum 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 bum. You know, it's there's a discernible lack of laziness here. Jay Chou really feels like he's putting effort into the arrangement. I'm wondering if he knew how special the song would be at the time that he released it. Yeah, there's an interesting texture to those, especially the guitar on the right. Oh, the wind foley? Oh, that's a beautiful sound. It's wispy. Nah, Solaris. Thank you, Solaris. You did a good job, dude. I'm happy with it. Thank you. There are 1,000 MX3s. These are 1,000 MX3s. Close. Interesting. Yeah, it's so gentle. I was expecting more punch from those drums, but I don't necessarily think that would help here. I think that having all the elements here sort of nice and smooth and gentle, at least dynamically, is a smart decision on Jay's part. You don't necessarily need to have really massive changes in the perceived loudness of tracks like this, especially with a longer form track, so especially if the lyrics are meaningful and the way it's sung is gorgeous. You maybe don't even want the impact of the vibe of the accompaniment to change too much. Just, you know, just give and take, and it works out. Lovely build. Okay, back with the guitar in the wind. Cool. Lovely arrangement here. Again, you can make it sound fuller by having those double tracking, but also the way it's been mixed. You have them still hanging back a little bit. It sounds like Jay is crying out here. I'm not sure what for though, hence why I'm eager to look through the lyrics. A song to describe the summer after a rainy day. That's cool. Okay, what are we going to do to change it here? Oh, we're doing it twice. Okay, Jay. All right. Ah, he had me there. I thought we were going to have the same approach the second time, but no. Jay gets a little bit fuller in himself, a little more adventurous with that melody on top. A little bit more vigor to it, you know. We were aware that we couldn't just copy and paste. He doesn't do music like that. He does it the right way. Great choice to have these string parts here and these plucks. Oh, it's sensational, dude. I'm enjoying this a lot. Lovely double checking of the guitars. I don't know whether they're DI'd or mic'd. And we just got the wind fading out. Yeah. Just before we go into the lyrics, people have asked me to watch the music videos for these albums. And the problem with watching the music videos is that YouTube likes to claim, or there will be companies who obviously own the copyright to it, and they'll just stop the live stream. And I'd rather not, if possible, have a live stream like this interrupted. Primarily because I just feel like it ruins the flow of it for us to have like an hour of listening through like the album, and then suddenly one video triggers the block. So that's why I do it through Spotify. Again, I know it may not be as visually interesting, but at the same time, I mean, I suppose if you're doing something around the house, you can still listen here. I don't know. It's, yeah, in China, people take lyrics more seriously, to be honest. In this case, the lyrics is absolutely the best at the time, which is totally fine, Yuan Chu Si. It's totally fine for lyrics to be a focal point. I mean, if you look at, there are through-composed tracks that maybe have that similar theme that is just continued throughout, and it totally works well. If your musical motif is something you can loop in a way that doesn't become irritating over time, and if you can tell the tale in a way that's charismatic and meaningful, you can get away with it. I don't think it's necessarily bad to copy and paste. I just feel like, for me as a listener, if the copy and pasting results in me hearing something and becoming bored of it because literally nothing's changed, it makes me sad because it's like, oh, we totally could have done something slightly different there just to keep it fresh. Yeah, that's another important thing because I know we need to do the lyrics, but part of it allows me to just focus on the music. I don't get indirect cues or direct cues from the video, you know? It's kind of nice for people to be okay with me not looking at it. You know, I kind of like that. Thank you for being okay with me not watching the music videos. I really appreciate that. It's just a system that appears to work at this point in time, you know? But yeah, that was Keely Xiang, Orange Jasmin. Again, thanks to Stellaris for the lyrics. The sparrow outside the window is being noisy on the electrical wire. Yeah, instantly. I am resonating a little bit more clearly with the lyrics in this song. I can follow it more easily. So this is definitely him talking about summertime and reminiscing about it and being sort of nostalgic for it, you know? It rained all night and my love overflowed like rain. The fallen leaves in the yard are thick with my thoughts. I continue to write my eternal love for you in the poem's ending. Because the thing about music is, honestly, I'm listening to this and I'm reviewing it for you guys, and I'm legitimately trying to, like, critically analyze it. Jay's gotten to a point now where there is so much stuffed in there that I think that if I was to pause every time I heard something new, we'd be here for hours. And I want to try and keep the flow of the review going with the playback of it as well. So I'm trying to sort of like dissect the important parts as we go through it. But yeah. That's true. It is effectively poetry, isn't it? Again, it's, you know, if you think about it, all music should be poetry. It should be art, shouldn't it? This name is very beautiful. Yet at this moment I can even kissing your stubborn lips. You are the only thing I want to know. Oh, I love it. So it's definitely looking back on something and realizing that your artistic or creative or emotional efforts are revolving around something that's very, very meaningful to you. You know, I'm assuming we're talking about someone that he wants to kiss, whether that's literal or metaphorical. I just love the imagery of the warm sunshine and freshly ripe strawberries. It just makes so much sense in the context of it. And the music does have that brightness, that purity, that sense of shine and that glowing sheen to it that does remind me of a sunny day. And it springs of hope, you know. I enjoyed this track a lot. I can understand why the Orange Jasmin is so good. I dig it. It doesn't sound that weird in Chinese. Potentially not. And I'm assuming we don't mean I'm assuming that we it's okay. I get what that track's about. Orange Jasmin. We've got Excuse next. Lyrics by J. Chou. Lyrics and music, so that's cool. Track number 3. Cool. Yeah. Just before you continue, I know some people probably just want me to like play through the music and maybe not go over the lyrics. I mean, if you want to just go over if you just listen to you can just listen to the music, right? You know, it's all on Spotify. It's all good. I'm just taking my time with it because I want to understand this album intently, you know? I don't want to half-ass it. It's interesting to have this kind of filtered piano here. I don't know if it's filtered. It might just be the room he's in. It's definitely filtered. Okay, it's nice to have these guitar parts come in here. Is there an... Is there an organ in there as well as a bass? Oh, nice change there. I don't necessarily think that that's a key change, although it could be. There could be some parallel majors and minors. It's always difficult to tell with Jay Chou because he understands how to do that stuff. You know, he understands the power of relative majors and minors in regards to switching the mood of the song. It does sound sad, but it's also reasonably well balanced with the textures and colorations of the other instruments. That extra bar there, cool. Extra couple of bars. Okay. It's nice to have him harmonizing in the upper and low register as well. It's one thing to have both vocals up high, but you add that chordal effect, that octave effect there, and it makes your vocals more present in the mix and amongst all the other melodic elements that we have here, which are filling up the frequency spectrum rather well, you know? Really great arrangement. That sub bass is scintillating, dude. It's such a peaceful album, like for real. It is so peaceful. I am legitimately feeling as if I could fall asleep with this on the radio next to me, you know? I mean, part of that is because I don't know the lyrics, so I don't know what he's talking about. But just the actual harmonies and the approach of the instruments involved. I would say this is probably Jay Chou's, at least since the first one. This album stylistically... and it makes a lot of sense with the progression we've had so far. Oh, cool. I get you, VSGF. That's cool. I get you. It's all good. It's all good. I'm liking how the drums are ramping up a little bit in here. It is a very peaceful album. I'll agree. At least, here's the thing. How do I say this? It sounds peaceful to me because I don't know the stories. But what he could be talking about might not be peaceful. You know, we will see how it goes. Again, I'm not going to pretend I know the album better than you guys, so we'll find out as we go. But at least if the first 3 tracks are any indication, it's a real smooth ride. Good, I'm glad I won't be falling asleep, that's fantastic. Again, we've got a little bit of extra splashiness in here with those open hi-hats in here. A little bit of extra intensity in the vocals, but it's a very slow build. He's not trying to rush it. There's no sense of urgency. Like the previous track, the 4th album, we came in kicking and screaming relative to what we've had before. In this one, it's almost like Jay is starting to become even more comfortable with himself. He's gone and experimented and done the crazy stuff, and he's coming back to some sort of equilibrium here. I don't know if you're talking about me, Solaris, but don't worry, man. You haven't offended me. It's all good. Everyone's all chill, man. Yeah, I mean, like, there wasn't a huge amount of change throughout that last section. I didn't really feel the need to stop it, you know? I mean, we could hear what was happening. I like the fact that there was that unison going on with those organ parts. I enjoyed that. It was a nice, sort of interesting, sort of quirky bit going on. A new ingredient to the mix. Yeah, Thriller MJ 6767. I get you, man. I totally understand what you're saying. Apparently, you just need to write those ballads in order to make waves, especially back in the early 2000s, you know. Oh, we can't go to the next track yet. We got to do the lyrics for this one. Jay was getting old, so the music style is not that I'm assuming we might. It's not as imaginative. Okay, all right. That's a shame. If that's the case, it's a shame if Jay is not as imaginative because he's getting older. Scares me a little bit, because if that's what comes with getting older, like, am I gonna start? Actually, you know what? I think you do get stuck in little niches that you feel comfortable in, and I suppose for Jay, if he's that successful, and he doesn't need to really change stuff or go wild or crazy with the stylistic decisions, why would he necessarily feel the need to sort of stretch himself, you know? Excuse. Flipping through our photographs, memories of you are visible yet invisible. Yeah, this is definitely one to... watching a tear-stained face. I've yet to hear it. You've already walked so far. Perhaps you have already given up on me. Perhaps it is already very difficult to turn back. I know it's all my fault. Please give me another reason. Yeah, that's another thing. That's why I'm always careful about what I say in these live streams, because there's like nuance to it. Definitely, I think personally, my belief for why Jay might be being more safe with his creative decisions at his 5th album is because, especially if he's got a contract where he needs to sell X amount of records, he cannot do just a completely random project. Independent labels, in most, if not all parts of the world at this point in time, did not have nearly the flexibility that they did now. So, like, it's tricky because you've got to try and find that sort of equilibrium between what your fans want and what you want to do. And you could tell with the 4th album that Jay was doing some really kind of crazy cool stuff. But also I can understand that he probably needs to do an occasional ballad in order to get the money coming in. Or maybe just because he wants to, you know? Sometimes you can do the crazy stuff, and other times you could be like, no, I just want to keep things sort of chill and be in my wheelhouse, you know? Although he does his hard rock stuff well, and I really wish that he'd do more of it. But yeah, do the lyrics here. And yeah, it's definitely part of maturing as well. You get older and you find stuff you're okay with, and I think as you get older, you lose the need to prove yourself to people, and you just find a place you're happy with. And I think that's a beautiful thing, as long as you don't become complacent, you know, as long as you don't become complacent. Even if I don't understand, can you forgive me? Please don't take a breakup as your request. I might lay the next track. You never know. I've liked all 3 of these so far. I'll give hearts to those, because I did like those tracks. So yeah, this is definitely about winter. Talking about whether the person's given up on him or not. I'm assuming they broke up. Maybe in summer they were in love and it was really vibrant and passionate, and in winter things went cold and it died, you know. I know wanting to go as your wound's excuse. Can you please turn back? I'll accompany you until the very end. If you want to go, please remember me. If you feel sad, please forget me. Oh, that's cool. So literally Jay ran his own company at that point. Well, then never mind. Then it's basically up to him what he does. A lot of major labels around that point in time were forcing bands to sign contracts to do X amount of records or X amount of albums. And if they didn't, then they basically would be screwed, you know. And I'm glad that Jay wasn't in that position. Yeah, it didn't work out apparently. We're on to track number 4 now. Maternal Grandmother, Why Po? Not until 2007. Good old coffee, eh? Yeah. It's a shame that it's... I will start this track now. I will start this track. Okay, I'm liking the harp. Again, there's some instruments that have been making repeat appearances with this album, and I'm liking that we're not completely shifting the setup we have with these tracks. Oh, cool. So he was still signed at that point with another company. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Like, just before we continue, I can understand why the company he was with might not have wanted to let Jay go at that point. Because Jay, obviously, why would a major label want to let Jay go when he is that popular, right? I'm glad that Jay eventually got out. That flow there. I'm liking that sort of pan flute that we have there with the 16th triplets on the vocals there. His rapping has definitely improved. He's got better control over his voice here. The words are coming through more clearly. It's a more confident performance. Because he's not just going, but he's going to get, you know, that he's got that extra little bit of inflection there. He's knowing when to hold the syllables and when to keep them sort of more percussive and staccato-ish. And that's just something that comes with time and experience. And I think he's in his element here. Nice simple motif behind it. Main vocals. Now, I can tell you something for a fact. That guitar behind there is quite complex. That is not a simple guitar line. A part of it is because I think there's some ghost notes being played on it. But that sub-layer there, it may seem like a simple harmony, but they're arpeggio or whatever, but there's some sass going on there. It's nice to have that contrast with that flute on the upper edge, which incidentally is panned against those higher vocals, which is an interesting decision. You know, I'm still getting my head around the decisions involved with having the vocals on one side and then having another lead instrument there. But I suppose if you've got two different lead elements in that, it makes a lot of sense to do so, actually, now that I think about it. I do enjoy it. Again, after the 4th album, I mean, people have been telling me there isn't as much of the rock and stuff in this one, but it's quite different, this album from the previous one, isn't it? It's like a warm blanket, really. It's like a warm blanket. This is what this album is like to me. Okay, so we'll go like a little girl rapping here. That's kind of dope. More of that, please. Oh. Is that a little girl or a little boy? Thank you, Cloud Daddy. Sometimes I wonder if what I'm doing is like professional music reviews or if I'm just reacting to stuff. But then it's maybe worth thinking, but don't reviewers react to stuff? What's the difference, man? What's the difference? Oh, it's Jay's cousin. That's so cool, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. That cousin's got flow, though. Kept up with Jay really, really well, man. You should bring that cousin into the game, eh? Dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. I love that. That's good times. That's good vibes. Oh, yeah. Cool. I enjoyed that transition there. It was nice having that different rapping vocal there. That different sort of, that additional, I need a thesaurus, guys. I need to read a thesaurus. The different vocalist there. that we had Jay the whole time. Having another one there at that fourth track is like, oh, excitement. You know, it's a unique experience within it. But then to go back into those clean vocals is almost more palatable because we had some higher frequency stuff going on in that section. Oh, they criticized the Golden Awards on the ceremony stage. Wow. Okay, nice. Yes, give me more buzz rolls, Jay. I want more of this, please. While I've enjoyed the continuity and consistency of the themes you've instantiated throughout the previous 3 tracks, I would like different drum parts in this one, please. Please. Give me more. That's kind of like the top of his range, isn't it? It sounds like if he were to go any higher, he'd need to go into the falsetto there. He got that kind of top of the roof of the mouth tone to his vocals there, and I don't know if that's just I don't know what that is there. I'm not usually a fan of it, but somehow Jay makes it work. It does sound loving though at the same time, you know. It does sound like he's talking about family members. I'm not sure why we have the explosions though. Like I can hear like, I don't know why we have those in there. Can someone help me out with that, or is that going to become more evident with the lyrics when we ever read through those? Okay, so that's what it was. Thank you. Thank you. That was a nice way of finishing it. I still don't know what the explosions are, though. I think someone's going to have to help me out about that a little bit. I'm glad to hear that Jay's vocal technique did improve. Like, even on Mojito, you know, people were like saying RIP his voice and stuff like that, right? But even on Mojito, some of those high parts sounded dope, man. I'm glad that Jay Chou continued to develop his vocal technique after this album. He's definitely improved since the first one, and in the first album he sung totally fine. But it's just, it's kind of inspirational if you think about it. Because we have a musician here who is this successful while still having room to improve and doesn't just go, oh, screw it, I'm making bank. He continues to work at it to make it better each time. Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. I thought it was just explosions, so I'm glad that there was thunder, that there was a thunder there, you know? They had a complete fallout after this track. Dude, what? What do you... No. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. Because I'll load the lyrics up, right? But, like, why would you kind of be a bitch about it because you awarded too many awards to someone who was that good? If the person's that good, you should just give them more awards. There's no need to be like, oh, sorry, we know you're that good, and there's no one that's necessarily doing it as well as you are, but you can't have any. But that doesn't make any sense. It just sounds really catty, to be honest. It's not very professional behavior, is it, really? If the guy's good, give him more awards, man. Don't rip on him, dude. You know, the fourth album was tremendous. There was lots of experimentation there. And I'm not going to pretend that every single track that I've heard from Jay Chou has been revolutionary, but then it's also the balance of trying to keep within what people enjoy from him versus what he wants to do, you know? Damn. You know, and I also think that this is a final consideration. When you are critiquing someone at this level, you can't just be like, oh, they're not doing original enough stuff. You've actually got to be able to say to them, I think you should do this, because if you don't have a way of them constructively improving what they're offering to world, you're just being the arbiter of BS, to be honest. It's just such a non-event. It's just such a non-event saying to someone, no, we're not giving you an award because you're not changing yourself or developing yourself enough. If what they make is good, that's fine. And if you want them to change, it's fine. But you need to give them feedback, and constructive feedback. Anyways, sorry about that. We will continue. If the Golden Awards is truly fair, then it won't matter if I'm there. Yeah. Yeah. That's sad, man. I feel bad for Jay. You know, music is not a meritocracy, but at the same time, you've got to be able to have a standard and award people as such if they reach that. I see. Yeah, that's brutal, dude. We got the this track criticizes the Golden Award Songs Awards Committee. Thank you very much, Solaris. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely having a talk about that, aren't we? Ripple on grandmother's face, beautiful yet could not hide the repression. Lovers left her, but she only hopes for kinship to make up for it. What's the point of making money without caring? Exactly. What's the point of making money without being passionate about it? You know? Resignation is unable to turn hopeful. Only through love you will understand. Walking in the bay, listen to a favorite song, pulling back warmth in a pocket. Yeah, there's a sense of disillusionment with the industry and life, almost life in general, you know? Didn't even get half of an award. Don't know whether to laugh. I smiled meekly at the camera, thought myself as a joke. I'm sad, but not because I'm getting any awards. I'm depressed because my grandmother's depressed. Yeah, it's not because Jay can't get an award, because he's not that petty about it, you know? It's you know, Cousins said don't feel bad, it's just a game. Yeah, denying my work depending on their mood, wanting to remain my style, but they feel they're just okay. No surprises. Yeah, also, if Jay has a style, just let him do it. If that's what Jay's happy with, let him do it, you know. Again, unless you've got a constructive way that he can improve, as opposed to you're just not original enough. It's silliness. It's silliness. I mean, like, put it this way. When I do professional work for people, when I review music, if I was to say to someone, if I was reviewing someone's music and I just said, "Oh, it's not good because you need to be differenter," I mean, they're gonna think I'm full of crap, aren't they? Anyways. Grandmother smiled and said she's proud of me. Her weak smile is enough to make me feel prouder than getting an award. Yeah, because what mattered to Jay Chou was her grandmother being happy, and it just seemed like such a shame that it occurred because his grandmother was obviously really proud of him, you know? It's such an elegant diss track. It's great. Yeah, it's a weird situation. I'm going to give that a heart because I feel bad for Jay, you know? They gang up on his grandmother and asked her, what does she feel? Oh, that's not okay. Did they actually do that? Did they actually talk to Jay's grandmother about that? That's totally off. Don't approach someone's grandmother and ask them a question like that. That's a real shitty thing to do. Yeah. I can understand why people are reminded of their grandmothers, though. To remove myself from how I feel about the behavior of the award ceremony people, it's a dedicated track to his grandmother, and I think that's absolutely lovely. And I think that it's a fitting tribute to his grandmother, and I'm sure that Jay Chou's grandmother was very, very proud of him. Very proud of him, you know. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that happened to Jay Chou. I'm glad that he continued to work forward and get past that, you know. Yeah, we got Checkmate General number 5. Lyrics, Huan Junlang wrote In Father's Name from last album. My goodness, I did not realize this. Thank you, Solaris. Music by Jay Chou. This track is about Chinese chess or Jiangxi. It's hard to understand the terminology and what's going on if you're unfamiliar with it. The lyricist studied Chinese chess for 3 whole months before putting this together. I'm kind of fucked, aren't I? What are we getting ourselves into? Uh-oh. It'll be good. It'll be good. Track number 5. We're doing well. It might be a bit complicated, but we'll try our best, all right? We're doing well. Doing well for time. The lyric is so hard to memorize, Jay had to freestyle it during concerts. My goodness. Again, shout out to Solaris for the lyrics. Thank you. This is awesome, dude. I really appreciate it. Let's go. Is that like people like it sounds like old people playing the game. Oh, okay. Oh, we're pumping it up a little bit, aren't we? Oh, Jay. You've been hiding the good stuff, haven't you? Again, that's a complete energy shift there. There's really pumpy strings with the 16th notes on the hi-hats and the kicks. And the bum, 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 bum. It's so charismatic and it just wants to dance, dude. It wants to go, dude. It sounds like a showdown, doesn't it? Okay, the rapping totally works here. Again, it's such a great mix. This is probably my favorite off of the album so far. I just love the personality behind it. I think this is something that is testament to the production chops and the compositional chops of Jay Chou, is that typically in a lot of modern music, like, I mean modern is in like the last 10 years, you have like really kind of prominent kicks and stuff to be like, yo, you need to bop your head to this. But all the different instruments have this sort of sense of unity behind them, where even if there's nothing kind of slapping you in the face and making you bow down to it, you just want to vibe along to it anyways. It does sound like he's more aggressive, to be fair, Jacob. I can hear that. Oh, that turntablism? I love this. It's like I'm so used to stuff that hits this hard having more sort of in-your-face to it. But it's just so, it's still got that weird subtlety to it. Nice addition of the legato. Sup, RC? How you doing? It's nice to have the high dun dun dun. It's nice to have those two bits on the either side of the stereo field as an accompaniment to the rapping in that second verse. Oh, dude. It's like the precision involved with this development of this motif is just so strong, man. I don't need more from this track. I think that it's good enough as it is, dude. It's good enough as it is. And back to that hook. Bum 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 bum. Oh, I totally hit the mic. I totally hit the mic with my. I feel dizzy now. I haven't bopped that hard to a track in a long time, dude. The high notes are saying checkmate. 172 people Hello to everybody. I think this is the biggest audience I've ever had on YouTube during a live stream, so it's pretty special. Thanks to everyone who came to watch this. Hopefully everyone watching this is having a good time. It's all good. See, we got people rolling up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Respect, dude. Respect. That's dope. Sorry if you heard me booping the mic with my head before. Part of what I think makes this slap so hard is that dun bump dun 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 dun. Everything here is in unison on that groove, on that rhythmic pattern, and it's just so easy to get lost in that and absorbed it. You know, there's no confusion. And that turntablism is so stunning as well. Like, we don't have to go that hard on the turntables. We don't have to go that hard, but we are, you know? Happy weekend, everybody. Oh, Chinese opera voice singing. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, no, look, what you gotta understand about me is that I'm not the kind of guy to fake a reaction to something. So if you see me genuinely enjoying it, it's because I'm genuinely enjoying it. I don't have the energy to fake being excited about something. Okay? There's so much to love in this track, though. Honestly, it is definitely my favorite. This is getting a heart. And people, I think... notice how it's one of the best tracks so far, but second lowest played. Yeah, you know, why is this so little played? Why is this not got more love, you know? Why is it always the lowest played tracks that I typically bop to, you know? Again, there was this definitely, I remember someone talking about aggression before. I could definitely hear the aggression. Thank you to everyone who is up late in California right now watching this. Hopefully I'm not keeping you up too late tonight. We'll probably be finished in about an hour or so, okay? So we're making good progress. Sup, you oh haha, how you doing? Yeah, definitely though. I don't know what Jay Chou could have possibly done to improve it. It's in my top 10. There were some firm favorites I had from the previous album. We will see how we continue though, okay? Yeah, I know. I know people love ballads, and it's like, I get it. Ballads are great. They're beautiful. And people have talked about how the melodies are very important. Definitely. Nothing beats a great hook melody. Doesn't. It wouldn't surprise me if he recorded it from a park. Hopefully he told them before he started recording it, because that would be really weird otherwise, you know? Let's try these lyrics, shall we? Ah, I get you. Oh, is that right? Well, luckily, we're not at 10k subs yet, because at 10k subscribers, I'm going to be doing a big video where I review all of Jay Chou's albums. Like, I'm going to be reviewing every song on every single one of Jay's studio albums. Going to be doing a big review about it at 10k subs. So I'm glad we're not there yet, because I can wait until Jay records and releases that album. So that's good. Thank you for letting me know. I'm keen. Well, that would probably be something we'd do. We're doing a new album per 1,000 subs, but if we get to 10k subscribers, I will review every single studio album that Jay Chou puts out, including the new one. Okay? Yeah. That is something I've committed to. And it's going to be good fun. But only when we get to 10,000 subscribers, okay? We're a wee ways off yet, though, okay? Anyways, we'll get back to the lyrics here. I'm keen to hear what Jay does for his next album. Actually, it should be great. Should be good. Thank you, Jacob. The tip of time all pointing towards you, the place that you will return losing. You will advance, but in the end, you will still have to get used to surrendering. The results have been determined. The sixth theft will be your greatest mistake. Yeah, this is definitely some kind of intense stuff, right? Oh, he gave them a new checkerboard. That's so cool. Good on him. Good on Jay for doing that. I appreciate that. That's nice. Yeah, I can tell this is like simultaneously a description of a chess match, but also Jay talking about overwhelming and out maneuvering his opponents, you know? I think that's smart. Thank you, Seven Vin. I appreciate that. Thank you for that sub. What else have we got? The old man standing by the side with the birdcage tapped me on the shoulder. I guess he's thinking what I am thinking. Yeah. I know I don't have to read through everything, but I'm just kind of enjoying the story anyways. I love the fingers relaxed, eyes sharp as a dragon, treating the enemy as invisible. It's fun stuff. It's fun poetry, dude. I mean, we've already talked about what it's about, you know, so for me to spend, 10 hours doing a neutron equation might not be in everyone's best interests, but still, you know. I look up into the sun, see your head low, but leaving the scene in silence. Listen to me as I talk about success and failures. Come on, you don't have to take it to heart. The Hua Mei in the cage admires the sky, but nobody ever knows. I think this is some of the most beautiful imagery like evoked by the lyrics within this album so far. I kind of dig it. You could study this in a class, man. Yeah, sure. I will probably put like Ask Solaris. It's Ask Solaris for the lyrical translations because Solaris provided them to me. And thank you again, Solaris, for this. It would have taken a lot of work, and I thoroughly appreciate it, dude. I couldn't have done this otherwise. I literally could not have done this review otherwise. So thank you. Yeah, Checkmate General, fun track, my favorite so far. We've got Stranded, track number 6. Let's go. What's this one? Oh, it's pianos. And I know that too many Chinese fans can't log into YouTube. I know, it sucks because of the Great Firewall. I know. That's what part of it. It's just, I'm hoping, because when we get to that 10K, it's going to be pretty special, and I suppose it's okay. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Oh yeah, we have listened to this, eh? We're still going to listen to it again though, because I need to make sure that we review every track off of this album. He sounds a lot more kind of gentle and vulnerable in this one, doesn't he? Wait, is this the best of his ballads? Is that how high we're shooting with this one? I mean, it has 31 million plays, so I suppose it is. Oh. I get it. It's so gorgeous, dude. That's one of the smoothest transitions I've heard into a hook in a long, long time. His vocals have definitely improved. His cleans are a lot harder. There's like a sultriness. It's a very sultry kind of performance here. Yeah, nice rise there. Hit that note cleanly. And that vibrato at the end was absolutely stunning as well. Yep, Jay's definitely in his element here. Yeah, that last note hits like a train. Again, lovely eighth note groove with the guitar and drums. And it's nice for the strings to have a little bit more energy in there and articulation. So where are we going next though? I feel like we've absolutely earned having that quiet bit before this next chorus because we haven't really had that before. Jay's kind of managed to somehow stay away from a lot of the typical tropes of this kind of music where we have like the big chorus and then like an instrumental interlude and then this. To have it now, it makes sense because this is one of his big ballads, but at the same time, I'm just glad that we haven't had too much of it. Jay has been sparing with a lot of the cliches in this record. I love him for it. Nice, lovely change there as well. I love how we just we abandon the initial sort of comfortable platform we're on there to go into a little bit of tension and that bridge harmony there. Oh, dude, it soars. And then that flutter of the strings there with that drum fill, it's going to be excellent, man. I dig it. I can't really fault this as well. This half of the album is really strong, isn't it? Yeah. Easy to follow. Okay, that got me this time too. I'm pretty sure that got me the first time that we listened to this in SB Fan Request. It got me this time too. For him to go up like that, holy shit, dude. That was fucking wild, man. Holy shit, that got me. Oh boy. I'm going to have that happen again. We're going to have that happen again. We're going to go back and listen to this in context. Here we go. I'm not... Hey! Oh, that sends chills down my spine, man. Oh, wow. Woo, this is his best. This is his best. This is his best ballad. This is by far his best. This is his best one. That is his best ballad. That is his best ballad. I love how smoothly it finishes with the strings. It's so elegant. It's so elegant. It's so mature. It is like Jay Chou has been building up to this moment. My gosh. My goodness gracious, I'm using the family-friendly language, but just for a moment, what the fuck? How does Jay know how to do that? How does Jay know how to do that? It's like Jay, throughout the entirety of this album so far, has just been holding that in his little box of tricks. And now for this song, he's like, yep. And the vibrato, exactly, Zay, exactly. He just comes in with that vibrato. Because it's one thing to hit that note, it's another thing to hit it clearly. But it's the third and final piece of the puzzle to be able to do the vibrato in it. That is sensational. I love it to pieces, and I have got all the time in the world for Jay now. That he can sing. That man can sing. I have, but I have not heard it in this state of mind. I'm refreshed after a week of chilling out. I am slightly more energetic than usual. My goodness, that high note is a C5. That is tremendous for him. That is not an easy note for him to hit. That is not an easy note for a male vocalist to hit, but he does. We got the lyrics. And I cannot believe that he does that live. I cannot believe that he does that live. The C5 key. Because that's the thing. That's what's so cool about Jay Chou, is that he can not only do that in a studio environment, but he can also do it live. That's not an easy thing to do. That is not an easy thing to do live, and he smashed it in the mid-2000s. It is definitely, I think it is actually a C5. I think a C-sharp 5. I do believe it would be a C-sharp 5. I've literally got a keyboard over here. It's definitely a C-sharp 5, yeah. Cool. But it's all good. I don't know how the hell he does that. I don't know how the hell he does that, but I'm so impressed with him. What a beast. The sky that hasn't cleared up in a long time, but still keeps your smile as before. Let's make sure they've got the right song. Track number 6, right? Cried. Unable to bury my guilt. I can only figure to ever read the dialogue, reading the pain that I've given you. Like, that hits like a train, dude. I cannot forgive myself, so please treat me as if I'm not here anymore. I looked on blankly with eyes wide open, trying to forget the expectations you had of me. After finishing reading my dependence. So he's struggling to cope without that person in his life. Trying to forget and move on from that situation. Feeling stranded without them. Holy shit. It makes a lot of sense when you think about just how much he's reaching out. It's like he's crying out, especially at that high C-sharp 5. It's one of the best. One of the best I've heard from Jay Chou. It's definitely in the top 10 for me. We've got the track number 7 though. You know, a B4, you know, it might not be as high. I mean, it's literally an octave lower than a C-sharp 5, but B4 is still okay, you know. Considering that Jay Chou really had his voice messed with, you know. His voice was really unwell. For him still to be able to hit a B4, you know, cleanly, is okay. That's okay, you know. Okay. Chaotic Dance in Spring and Autumn Period. Lyrics, Vincent Fang. Music, Jay Chou. It's a fun track about time traveling to the spring and autumn period in ancient China, which is interesting because we've had summer and we've had winter, and now we have spring and autumn. It's very long and hard to comprehend the lyrics if you don't have an idea about Chinese history, lol. I mean, it's written by Vincent Fang. Okay, yeah, to be fair, Solaris, that's fantastic. And thank you, Ian and Solaris, for providing lyrics for this. I really appreciate it. Let's go. Let's do this. Track number 7. Oh, look, one of the best songs, and it only has 1.6 million views. Why? Oh, that's kind of pretty with the drums and the guitar parts. They're kind of frenetic, aren't they? But I dig it. Got that rapping on top. Hey, we got those. Yeah. Kawaii desu. Got those sound effects in there, dude. That's slick, dude. I love it. I'm enjoying this already. Good on him. And that turntablism is just constant, dude. And it's weird to have the turntablism, especially as it's positioned in a stereo field like center. For it to work so well with the vocals on top is testament to the studio production. It's magnificent. The production in this is ridiculous. I adore what they've done with the mixing and mastering here. interesting decision here. I like how we're developing it. Is this more through composed? Is this more of a through composed composition we have here? You know what? Like, to be real with you guys, like, I think that this actually genuinely makes me want to learn how to, like, to scratch. You know, I want to learn how to work with vinyl after this. I'm not hyperbolizing. I would love to be able to do that kind of old school DJing. To be able to make the stuff like's happening here, it's so slick, man. And we've had that throughout JHL's albums. And that's something I love him for, is that incorporating these hip hop and R&B elements. It's just great fun. 8 choruses. What? 8 choruses. What? Oh, that's sub business. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna give this some love. Ah, he teased me a little bit there. I thought we were going to get more distorted guitar there from I got a chung 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 chung, but we kept it subtle in there. This is a really unique experience having with Jay Chou here. He really kind of is thinking out of the box at this point. It's very different to what we had in the first half of this. I like that we've had this shift. I definitely wasn't expecting it after the first 3. I'm really glad that people told me, Logan, don't just assume it's all like that. Thank you for reminding me that Jay Chou is like this with his albums. Catchy hooks, hook melodies, supported drum kit. Oh, that major tone there is fun there. Again, you've got that lovely sort of glossy harmony there. Oh. Oh, that's fun. That's great. It's dreamlike, isn't it? That was not what I expected to happen. I just thought we were gonna have the screaming over top of the last chorus, but if we're gonna that suck back into itself was a nice choice there. I've got to respect that. Again, we have some key, easily identifiable melodic motifs in here with that kind of 8th to 16th note groove. No, it would be an 8th note groove on the drum kit there, and a bum 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 bum. You know, it's catchy, memorable. It's a shame that they couldn't embrace it, man. That's really clever stuff. Like when you get tricked into thinking, oh wait, there's someone actually calling me. Some songs have fun Foley, like where they have like a knock on the door in the back of the headphones or something like that. Sound design is really important with tracks. That does sound realistic. That tripped me out for a second. It's almost like I got transported back 15 years ago to when I had a cell phone that had that kind of ringtone, because I haven't had a landline in years, dude. Really? He's singing Pork rice, please. Oh, and add an egg. Nice vocals over top. Great. Yeah, no complaints. Hey, that new metal distorted guitar, turntables, fun. Great. It's filthy, dude. Now I'm going to say something here. The turntablism was one of the favorite parts to me of that entire song. I love how it was a focal point. I think that Jay Chou has just recognized that that's almost as much... It's just as legitimate an instrument in a mix as like a guitar or the bass or the drums. And he's realized that if you can kind of like scratch and have those samples play, oh, dude, you got yourself a banger. And then he just stops dancing and answers the phone. Chicken, rice, and eggs. Thank you. It's... Wow. I thank you to everyone who was telling me about the track as we went along. I thoroughly appreciate it. It's to be honest with you, I didn't hear the sound of the phone before people mentioned the phone. So I was thinking, have I missed the phone call? But we got there eventually. We got lyrics though, right? Lyrics. Chaotic dance, the spring and autumn period again. Chun-Li's voice in Street Fighter. Thank you, Godfrey. I appreciate that. Dude, I miss, like, did you guys ever used to play, like, the old school Street Fighter games and stuff? I used to have a Sega Genesis or a Sega Mega Drive, and I used to play Street Fighter and stuff. There's one game I'd like to play that had, like, robots in it, and I know that's very generic and it's not helpful, but I'll see if I can find it after this. Sorry, Ian Lim. Yeah, there's been about literally an hour 30 of material, but on the plus side, there's an hour 30 of the review being done. So that's cool. Yeah, again, I'm just going to have a read through this. I might not get everything in there, but I think we roughly understand what the track's about. Time machine was so exaggerated. Traveling through time and space is fun and arrogant. Oh, they're wondering if they can return. Being a bit nervous about it. That's cool. Oh, I love the fact that it's like they're talking about like this is effectively them talking about like an open world game, isn't it? Back in the mid-2000s, they're talking about an open world game. Seeing the Big Dipper fall into the horizon. Oh my goodness, they're talking about turtles. What are your favorite animals? My favorite animal is tortoises. I love turtles and tortoises, dude. They're so cool. I would love, right, to have a tortoise that I could sit on and like ride around the place. I would love to have a pet tortoise so that it could take me places very slowly. And yeah, I am in New Zealand. I am in a specific part of New Zealand. Looking at the sky and seeing the Big Dipper fall into the horizon. Little monsters disturb the order of the world. Oh my goodness. I'm glad that they have a time machine with the humans and demons and stuff. Wow. 7 stars and Zhu Liang's destiny will not come. Dude, there's so much creative imagery in here. I know I've said about it's basically poetry whenever Vincent Fang gets involved. There is a knife in my mouth to break the what? What? I love the how we're in this world and then suddenly we get a phone call and we're talking about like getting food so that we can continue to play video games. I think that's great. You know, Jay does not half-ass a video game song. He really, I think that at this point, Jay Chou is not only really comfortable with who he is as a musician, but he also is taking more and more pride in what he puts out. I've been given the impression that maybe Jay Chou isn't doing that as much, which is sad, like in more recent stuff. But I really look forward to hearing more of what he does. And I'm looking forward to having a great time with it. But we've got Kun Xiao Ji Do, Jewel of Trapped Beasts. Jewel of Trapped Beasts. What about this one, guys? Is this an okay one? Oh, this guitar. Oh, and the guitar has 1.4 million plays. Gonna need the love just because I'm loving the guitar in there. Oh, it's nice and slow, dude. The sidechaining is fairly aggressive to those guitar parts, right? Kaikoura is pretty dope, eh? I like Kaikoura. Wasn't expecting harmonica though, to be fair. Have we had harmonica from J Chou before? Has J Chou put harmonica in there? Cool. That's what I was looking for from Jay there. We had that kind of, yeah, I'm seeing people talking about British rock. Yep, definitely. I can also hear some of the kind of grungy alt rock stuff from the early 90s in there, like the kind of Soundgarden stuff. There's influence of that in there, you know? I kind of like it. Where are we going with this stuff? I'm liking a bit of vocal fry we hear occasionally with Jay here. Lovely additional higher. Those natural harmonics are so pretty. They're so pretty, dude. And they're mixed so subtly, but they add such a lovely clarity to the sound of it. Dude, I think his voice sounds great for rock. Like, what you've got to understand is that rock is open to all the singers. Did you guys listen to some of the stuff from like the mid-2000s with like the emo rock and stuff like that? People were just screaming into a microphone and it sounded good. You know, his voice sounds fine with rock and it's a shame that he hasn't done more of it. But I do appreciate nonetheless that it exists at all. Yeah, I think his voice sounds fine here, dude. Oh, right. So that's a good point, Dr. Rocky. Here in New Zealand, if you call someone a turtle here in New Zealand, you're just insinuating that they're slow or that they're cute. Because in New Zealand, we love turtles. So apologies if I've misinterpreted like what a turtle is in other parts of the world. Here in New Zealand, turtles are adorable little creatures that eat lots of like... I'm hesitant to talk about exactly where I am in New Zealand, primarily because I want to retain a little bit of mystery. Yeah, I'm going to... Basically, the extent of where I'm going to say that I am in New Zealand is that I exist in New Zealand. I'm sure that if people wanted to try hard enough, they could probably find me. But I deliberately don't talk about where I am, especially if this channel grows and there's like someone who like maybe doesn't like me. I wouldn't want people to be able to find me, you know? So yeah. Oh, in Chinese it is. Apologies. I didn't mean to offend anyone. Apologies if I offended anyone about the turtle remark, you know? To be fair, I don't think I called anyone a turtle, so it's okay. Yeah. Okay. Really lovely country, yep. Thank you, I'm glad you had a great time. I'm glad people like Kaikoura. Kaikoura. I'm liking that the guitar picks up a little bit when he does a little bit of a flourish at the end of each of these vocal lines. Oh, okay, I get you. I can understand that. Thanks for the clarification there about turtles. See, I'm learning stuff. Great. Stunning. Again, like, I'm fairly familiar with the motif we have at the moment. I don't necessarily think we need to add more to it. It's a solid groove. I think Jay Chou is still playing it fairly safe with this arrangement, but considering, again, that not a lot of people are really necessarily into his sound as much as his other stuff at this point in time, it makes sense. I can imagine his live version of the song would be pretty insane. Be pretty cool. Still reckon he could have put a guitar solo or something in here, you know, with a guitar solo. Be pretty dope, but that's okay. Beggars can't be choosers, you know. Oh, that's a fuzzy, gritty guitar tone in it. Kind of grinds away at you a little bit. It would see that's about as heavy as we've gotten with Jay in this album, and I don't think we really need more than that. Again, he's trying to show, hey, I like the distorted kind of chug chugs, and that's great. Who doesn't like chug chugs? Chug chugs are where it's at, man. He's trying to make it his own, and I think that's really cool. Lovely finish to that, dude. That's one of my favorites. I feel like more could have been done in the interlude section, but at the same time, Jay handled it really efficiently. It was his. There wasn't as much of the rock on this album at this point. That's okay. Again, he's showing that he can do different stuff, and he's got his own style and his own groove. And it's not like there was anything wrong with the actual musical concept of the track. He had interesting harmonies there. We had lovely arpeggios on those guitar parts. There were some drum fills in there, you know. It was as much as you needed. He sang 6 C5s and about 46 B4s in the melody. I don't know how people can keep track of that stuff, though, to be fair. It's kind of wild, man. It's, I suppose that's something you get from doing live vocal study, is you learn exactly what note you can hit, and it'll be cool to hear Jay's later stuff where he is able to sort of develop his voice more, and we get to hear more and more cool stuff. I descend amidst dark gloom. The world is drowning in rain, picture and reality intertwined. Lyrics by Liu Kong, Jewel of Trapped Beast. Yeah, it doesn't sound like an easy song to sing, to be fair. Again, kudos to Solaris with this. It would have been a difficult song to translate. It wouldn't have been an easy song to translate, so I'm really proud of the effort put in here. Dispensable shell like a walking corpse. That's a visceral line, isn't it? Struggling to escape, chasing an empty cave. If I bust out of a sky shrouded and sinister, then don't even think of tying up my freedom again. Damn, dude, he's putting his foot down. He's putting his foot down. $200 plus C5 notes last night. That got me. That got me. We're done well. We have fun. We have fun in these live streams. Thank you to everyone who's been chatting in this live stream. I've been enjoying reading your comments and hearing what you have to say. It's been nice to talk to people whilst I review this. It's why I do these albums as live streams now. It's a bit lonely reviewing this all by myself. It's more fun with other people, you know, to sort of share it around. All right. I'll try to focus on it. You know, do the Jewel of Trap Beast. I vigorously try to break through. Oh goodness, why is that the thing that's broken me today? All right. Sealed. It's like, it's just that my brain is enjoying that. So thank you for that. That's the that's funny. That's all right. Oh, dude, I'm lightheaded. I'm feeling lightheaded now. I need to take a moment. I need a moment. Oh boy, that's good. It's okay. It's all right. Don't apologize. It's fine. It's all right. It's all right. I'm sorry. You can't force it. You can't force yourself to stop. All right. All right. All right. This is good fun. All right. It's kind of crazy going back to the complete juxtaposition of the lyrics in this, you know. The burning flower, sins disappearing in space, memories peeling off the remnant image. Yeah. It's a sad song. It's depressing. It's Will Porter Traps. He's struggling, but he wants to get through it to a better future. Nice. I know there's more to it, but that's my general understanding of it, you know. I love the imagery here. Great work by Liu Genkong. And we've got Garden Festival, track number 9. Track number 9 here. Let us go. Oh, this is very pretty, isn't it? This is a very big change. Okay, nice, interesting. We got those drum samples there with the strings. This feels a little bit more than what I'm used to from Jay. Big departure. Big departure, dude. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. Interesting work with these, interesting, like, attack sections on these synth parts. I'm really sure what to make of it, you know? Whoa. It's kind of sassy, but there's a sweetness to it, for sure. A mobile ad song. Ah, good job changing at the end. See, I thought it was going to be predictable the whole way through, but Jay knew on the 8th time to change the rhythm of that. You know, it's great. That's more like the ballads I know from Jay. It's interesting this is another mobile ad song. It's kind of surreal to know that Jay's at the level now where he can justify putting his mobile ad songs in like an album which looks to have had at least 100 million plays on it. Like that's at least 100 million, I think. 90 to 100 million plays, and 2 of them are mobile ad songs. He does not skimp on his on his releases, dude. It's gorgeous, eh? Again, I love the falsetto sections on the side and that bridge part as well. His higher range is so sweet, and it's so soft and soothing and sensual. And back in these strings to fill up the space where we don't have the vocals anymore. Lovely transition between the lead voices here. He really knows how important it is to have that repetition of those rhythmic sequences there in the voice section. But at the same time, it's almost lulls you into that sort of somber kind of, you know, you're going to be here for a few minutes and I hope you enjoy your stay kind of vibe. It's an unusual sound with the kind of flicky bits on the either side though. I'm not super sold on those, but then I don't dislike it. It's just I'm wondering what the context for it is. Maybe the story will help to explain it a little bit more, you know? Yeah, the quality of these samples. Like, I don't know whether he's recording these strings or whether he's sampling them, but either way, they sound golden, dude. Okay, we're repeating that passage there. That's cool. Bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, well, all right. Yeah, this definitely sounds like a wedding song, Andreas, for sure, man. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Yep, lovely, lovely entrance back into that. A little bit of a break, a bit of airiness, and boom, coming in with that kick. You can't not have the kick there. You need to have that on the first beat to instantiate a new section, bring people in, let them know what's going on. Little Princess. No shame in that, man. No shame. No shame in that. The fact of the matter is that Chou can write this kind of music and make it not cheesy. Like, I don't think this is generic or cliched at all. I love it to pieces. It's partly because I'm liking the growth of Jay as a vocalist and as a performer, but also the different sections have great comping to them, and the production is sweet as well. I forget that this is a... Oh, wait, is this the mobile ad song? It is another mobile ad song. I can't believe this is a mobile ad song. I can't get over that. It doesn't sound like an ad, you know? It doesn't sound like it at all. Back to that thing there. I still don't know where we had the flickies in the side pan, but that's fine. He likes pink mics. That's fantastic. There is nothing wrong with guys liking pink stuff. Nothing wrong with that at all. Good on him. Good on him, man. Wear it proud, man. One of my favorite t-shirts is like a pink t-shirt with Homer with donuts or something like that. It's dope, man. So good. What? He has a pink piano? Man, I wish I had a pink piano, dude. That'd be dope. Most of the pianos, like, real talk here, most pianos are black. But what if they didn't need to be black? What if they could be other colors that are fun, you know? What if that was a thing, right? Okay, this is a fairly sort of safe and secure ending. He's wanted to let the music sing it out, you know? Again, I'm still not. I know I'm not gonna mention it again. I'm a broken record about the flicky bits. I like the guitar on one side and piano on the other side. I think that's a smart idea, especially when they occupy a similar frequency range and we've already got like a dominant bass instrument there. Pan them, have them opposites, you know. Excellent. Love it. I'd love it. I love it. Yep, I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna give that a heart as well. My favorite t-shirt is pink with a Hello Kitty on it. Dude, Hello Kitty, I am fascinated by Hello Kitty. Can someone explain to me what Hello Kitty is? Because I love the aesthetic of that, man. I love it so much, dude. I love it so much. I'm being genuine. I love that kind of stuff. The last song is really deep. His pianos are all incredible. Absolutely. I thoroughly agree. I have not heard a piano track that Chou's been involved in that hasn't been sensational. The last track, yeah. One more. We've reviewed the entire album almost. Thank you again to everyone who has stuck through this live stream, as well as to everyone who's come along just for a part of it. I appreciate you all, genuinely. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here doing this. I'm glad we could share this experience together, you know? I like reviewing J. Charles albums. Before we get into the last track, though, I just want to have a look through the lyrics of this, okay? Just so I can understand what this 9th track was about. Again, Vincent Fang on lyrics, music by Jay Chou. Amber-colored twilight is like candy in a beautiful far-off distance. See what I mean? See what I mean? Amber-colored twilight is like candy in a beautiful far-off distance. Doesn't it just evoke? Isn't it so easy to imagine? Lyrics are so clever, man. Thank you, Chinita. It's one of my favorite songs on this album. Yeah, I can understand why it's your favorite, man. It's a beautiful track. It's a lovely time. I've been like watching people mention how they feel nostalgic for it, you know? How they feel nostalgic for it. And it's like, I can understand why. There are tracks here that will mean different things to different people, and I won't have the same experiences as you would, but nonetheless, I thoroughly appreciate the fact that we all got to hear it together. The last one is one of his most famous of the Dark trilogy. Excellent. I'm glad that we're going to be listening to a song like that to finish it off. Took in my hand, peppermint colored grass. Oh, it's so beautiful, dude. I honestly think that like people should do a study on these lyrics. Like, the lyrics are sensational. And Jay Chou does a great job at communicating them. You kind of have the whole package here. Because if the story is weak and the vocals are good, then it's just not going to hit the same, is it? You know? Oh. I gently appear beside you. Your flustered appearance I gently smile and quietly admire. I withstand the blazing sun to only want to hold out an umbrella for you. That's beautiful. That's dedication, isn't it? That's dedication. The foolish game of fishing that we started talking. The film of the Garden Tour Festival is being broadcasted. We have made a pact to roam this world together. I love it. That connection here. I can understand why it's popular. It's very romantic, isn't it? Very romantic track. Thank you again to Solaris for the help with understanding this record. And the lyrics in the song. Wounds of war, injury of ceased fire, Vincent Fang and Jay Chou. Yeah, because I was wondering, it looks like in the art for the album, it looks like he's wearing a military uniform. So I was wondering if we were going to have a reference to that at some point. I think it's a really clever idea to have that at the end, because it keeps people guessing right up until the last minute. No complaints about that on my end. No complaints. They went to Russia to shoot the music video. Jay Chou at that point was obviously, he was quite confident with the budget that he had for these music videos, wasn't he? All rise for track 10. Let's go, Shredders. Last track of the live stream. This piano work is phenomenal, dude. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Okay. I mean, I'm loving the 16th note groove that we have on the keys on the left side, and how we're accenting the 8th notes on the other side. I'm liking the contrast with those rhythms there, and how the harmonies still work. Anti-war. I see. I see. Again, I'm liking how the drum kit is just flowing with those elements. It's almost like the piano is more of a focal point than the rhythm itself. Ah, Here we go. Wow. Yeah, he's rapping quite quickly, isn't it? And it's all coming through clearly. I can understand why Jay Chou is proud of this. I'm proud of him too, because not only can he rap this quickly, but it makes musical sense. It's not just speed rapping for the hell of it. It's great on headphones. You know, listen to this track on headphones. If you can, listen to all of this music on headphones so that you can experience the surround sound of it. It's probably going to be a similar experience on speakers, but only if you're in a well-treated room. Oh, that was a bridge. That was the bridge. I wouldn't surprise me if it was one of the most technical triplets. I mean, how many of you guys can do that? Can any of you guys rap that clearly? That's the culmination of years of work. Jay Chou at the top of his game, man. It's nice for that piano to go up on the octave on the left side. Yep. Again, he's more confident with his clean vocals as well, so everything is just sounding that next level kind of stuff. And the piano is the focal point of this. The drums are supportive. It kind of reminds me of some of the hip-hop R&B stuff from his earlier albums. But I think it's just a little more glittery and starry, you know? Like if you go da 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 boom 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 boom, you know, you might not necessarily think that they suit each other well, but Jay Chou is making that work. He's making it work again. I'm so glad we're finishing on this. It's such a strong outro, isn't it? And it's okay. Jay's just that good. He's just that good. Flourish there. Oh, I thought we were going to have more. I thought we were going to have a little extra piano solo there as he scribbled the letters home. But apparently not. That's fine. That little trill, that. Again, I love how we're going between his higher vocals in that range and then kind of going for more conversational tone to switch it up. And I like how in that chorus, the piano line lifts again. You have a bass in there. And what's kind of cool about it as well is that because you have that bass guitar, you don't necessarily need to have your left hand playing the other side of the piano. You can literally have your right hand just playing the melody and focusing on articulating it. You don't need to over-egg the pudding, right? Yeah. Okay, we're looping it. What are we going to do differently this time? Yeah, no, I have to appreciate the restraint shown by Jay Chou as a classically trained pianist to not just want to go bananas, especially for an outro track. There is this a maturity, I think, that has come with Jay Chou's writing at this point in time, where he knows to play enough as opposed to too much or too little. He finds that equilibrium, that sweet spot, where there's enough articulation in those 16th note rhythms to be able to have color and show the skill that he has without taking away from the story that's being told. It takes a long time to get the hang of that. Nice filtering here. Again, I wasn't expecting this. I'm going to give this a heart as well. You've got 3 different vocal parts here. Yeah, exactly. His voice is great for all sorts of songs. Granted, I wouldn't recommend he suddenly started a black metal career at this point in time. I don't know how he'd go with like the growlies, but like any clean chorus or rapping stuff, go for it, dude. Enjoy it. Vibe with it. He can handle it. Boom, boom. And that filtering there. Again, if we didn't have all those vocals together at the start, just that outro chorus, we have various elements of the tail and counter melodies there to make it seem bigger. That's the proper way to do an outro chorus like that. Lots of love for what JTL's done with this track. I'm very pleased with it. I think if you hadn't had this filtering, it would have not been as good. And the reason I say this is just, while the individual pieces of the song are interesting, engaging, and well written, to have the filter cut out some of the frequencies just kind of refreshes the palette a little bit. Your ears have to adjust to that lack of high or low frequencies, and it makes you go, oh wait, what? And then coming back into that chorus, everything's full again, makes it sound bigger and more bombastic. And that slowdown there, so appropriate. And he finishes on a note, you know. He just finishes on a note there. He doesn't resolve it. The last thing I'd like to say about this track before we look at the lyrics is, he doesn't resolve the melody there. He doesn't go back to the root note like a lot of people would. He just leaves it open to interpretation, as if nobody's going to know, as if he might not get a response to the letter he's writing. The story is left untold. There's a sense of sadness throughout this track that we heard today, you know, but at the same time, I'm eager to hear the lyrics before I pass judgment on it. I'm very pleased that we got to listen through this album today. Track number 10. Lyrics by Vincent Fang, music by Chou. For the final time, thank you to Solaris for allowing me to have access to these lyrics. Did a great job, Solaris. You ought to be proud of yourself, okay? Thank you very much. Light is as light as a piece of paper, the place it lands on. It hurries while the applause is fading. So the sunlight is fading. Fear has been fear has been carved on the children's faces. That's it's intense, isn't it? When you think about that, it's very, very intense. The shape of the dandelion is dispersing, is flying hopelessly. She only sings, only thinks the song of stopping the casualties of war. So it's definitely an anti-war song. Definitely an anti-war song. Yeah. Yeah. I think that Jay Chou and his anti-war stance is thoroughly appropriate. And, you know, there's more nuance to the story itself than that. But, you know, when I... Oh, really? They're all tenors? Also, their pronunciation are hard to understand. But Aldrich, I feel you. And fun fact, the album cover was shot from the MV of the last track, and the album name was supposed to be the name of this track, but the company thought it's too dark and deep, so changed it into that. I was kind of wondering why it was called Common Jasmine Orange for this review, because it seemed, it's a risk. This is part of, again, why I'm glad that Jay Chou founded his own company later on and had more freedom and flexibility to do what he wanted to do with his music, you know? Shout out to Vincent Fang and everyone else involved with the lyric choice here. It's sensational. It's just that next level stuff. I don't know if Jay Chou would have had the same level of success if the stories and the lyrics hadn't been so well told. I mean, he probably would have, but it's great having people like Vincent involved, right? Yeah. I think that Jay Chou, just before I get into the conclusion, I think that Jay Chou is one of those people, one of those musicians that is like a net benefit for the industry. It's why it made me so sad to hear about what happened with him at the awards show with his grandmother, because he legitimately seems like a really wholesome dude. Like, I haven't heard any bad stuff about Jay, you know? Even when people like might get called like a sellout for doing mobile game video songs and stuff like that, he finds a way to make that mobile song into his own sort of artistic vision, and it just serendipitously works well for that commercial purpose. And his manager told them, Jay and Vincent, to never leave each other. Yeah, don't. I really hope that they're still working together, because Vincent and Jay are so incredibly tight together, you know? Don't feel bad if you can't sing like Jay Chou, as a final word. Jay Chou is his own person, and everyone has their own voice. And as long as you're using correct vocal technique, you just gotta love your own voice and do your best you can with it, right? Oh, they wanted to manage Jay themselves because his manager was not letting them exploit him the fullest. Without getting into a rant about major labels, I'm not massively into major record labels. You know. Yeah, what's the deal with the girl in the album? The album cover. Who's the girl in the album cover? Who is that girl in the album cover? Just my last question about it. You know, because this is the conclusion for my review of Common Jasmine Orange by Jay Chou for the 5,000 sub or the 5K sub special on YouTube. Hopefully all of you enjoyed watching this live stream. The good news is that this live stream that's been recorded will go up on the channel probably within 12 to 24 hours time as its own bit. I will get Google to do captions for the video when able. Sometimes YouTube needs a few days, especially with a live stream this large, to be able to figure out what I'm saying, you know? But I will definitely update the community tab once the captions have been updated for this live stream. But obviously we've had auto captions for this live stream in here anyways, so hopefully that should be fine. The next live stream will be tomorrow. We have a fan request live stream, and then next Saturday I'm hoping to review Yuxing Chang and do another fan request live stream the following Sunday as well. My conclusion for this album, Common Jasmine Orange. I think that in general, the stories that we touched within this, like if we go through the lyrics just to remind myself what it was about, we had songs like about summer and winter and mobile songs about like relationships and phones. And we had like, again, stories about the award ceremony and Jay Chou not being happy with the behavior of the people involved, which makes a lot of sense, you know, a lot of sense. We had a checkmate general, Zhang Qi, the Chinese chess, which was really interesting, one of my favorites off of the album. Yeah, I'm happier now. I'm happier now than I was before. It's been a really hard month for me, but I'm really glad to have gotten through all the work I need to, and I'm glad to be doing this live stream with everyone here. It's great to be here, you know? I will try to keep doing these live streams weekly, the top 5 on Spotify's on Saturdays, and then obviously, you know, the fan requests on Sundays. And then if we get to 6K subs, we'll do Jay Chou's 6th album whenever we get there, okay? We talk about video game music and, you know, Jewels of Trapped Beast and stuff like that, and feeling confined and dealing with like your own inhibitions and stuff like that. The Garden Festival, Reaching Out for Love, and anti-war songs. We had a lot of different topics discussed here. The cover girl made bad video when she grows up. You're welcome, Solaris. Please, if anyone is watching this and it's late, I really hope you sleep well. Thank you for your time. Yeah, you're totally welcome. Yeah. What else? Yeah, the stories in this, I think, are all personal to Jay Chou, and there wasn't a single weak track on this album. My personal favorites, of course, were track number 10. I also liked I liked what was the video game track? The number 8, wasn't it? No, number 7. I really liked the chaotic dance in the spring and autumn period. That was a really fun one. It was long, but it was really interesting through composed. What else? What else do I like? I mean, I think Jay here, especially in this like 6th track, the really big ballad here. Oh, hello. I don't think that's where we're meant to be, is it? Where did that go? Where has everyone gone? Whoops a daisies. Here, the 6th track, Stranded. That was something for me, which really sort of like elevated to the next level for me. Jay Chou voice is the best in this album that I've heard so far. He's more confident, reached those higher notes, better technique. The rapping is more precise. Obviously, the really fast 16th triplets were just insane, and it's incredibly impressive. So Jay's vocals at this point were fantastic, and he told the stories really well and authentically. The emotional tone was appropriate, and the coloration with the backing vocals and the double tracking and all that was absolutely sensational. The way these tracks were structured, most of them were sort of verse, bridge, chorus. You had little interludes from time to time. And the 6th track the 7th track was sort of more through composed, which was fun. The one where you go back in time to 400, 700 AD. But he stuck to his roots in regards to the contemporary structure for these, and I think that made a lot of sense. We don't need to go too out of the box in most situations. And while I don't personally feel we were nearly, I don't think we were as experimental as we were with the 4th album. I nonetheless appreciated the effort Jay put in, especially parts of like the turntablism and like the phone calls and all the other fun little bits and pieces to appreciate. The instrumental performances in here, like the guitar, piano, bass, drum parts, the synths, the flutes, the orchestral parts, the turntablism, the synthy bits and pads, and there was just so much to appreciate and enjoy. And we didn't feel, while I think that the first 3 tracks, they had like harps and stuff like that and there were shared interests, I think they were because they were connected to one another, and that made a lot of sense from a thematic and color post standpoint and textures. At the same time, I do appreciate what we had with the change later on. I think it was great to have diversity, tonal and tonal diversity in there, especially because I don't necessarily think that the kind of the way we wanted the first tracks to sound would have necessarily suited like the anti-war song that we had for track number 10. I'm glad that Jay understood we couldn't do the whole sound for the whole time, and that he was still able to take risks where appropriate. So he elevated his ballads within this. He explored some more options. There was less electric guitar, but I don't necessarily mind it. I love my electric guitar, my rock and stuff, but at the same time, I feel like if Jay Chou is more comfortable doing this, then that's totally fine. I'm not going to tell him how to live his life. He's obviously successful, and he has people that appreciate and love and respect his music. There wasn't a note out of place. I remember like in the 2nd album, there were bits where I could like, from a production, recording, mixing, and mastering based standpoint. In the 2nd album, there were bits where it was like a little bit too resonant, or like there was like, oh, why is that so loud or something. But for Jay, he's in a zone here. It's masterful. The studio post-production stuff, there was dynamic range to this, which I appreciate, especially because it was before the loudness war that we had in the late noughties with like bands trying to be as loud as they possibly could be. I'm glad that we had quiet bits and loud bits, and that we played with filtering and effects and stuff like that. The mixing, the stereo cueing, the bass effects and all that. The compression limiting and stuff like that was sensational as well. And all in all, I think that this is a step in the right direction for Jay Chou. While this is not my favorite album, I do think I preferred 4. This is probably my second favorite. Which is weird because, again, we didn't have a lot of the rock and stuff that I typically enjoy. But I think, hopefully this proves to people who believe I like the rock stuff the best, that isn't necessarily the case. If the kind of the pop R&B kind of electronic stuff is made in a way which makes musical sense, and if it's refreshing, and if it makes sense with the story, and it doesn't take the listener's attention for granted, I can nonetheless vibe with that. I don't need there to be like chug chugs all the time to be happy with, you know? So all in all, this has been a fantastic experience. I've really enjoyed listening through this album today. Hopefully you have also enjoyed listening through this album too. I know for a lot of people, they may not have listened to a lot of Jay Chou recently. You've probably heard enough of Jay Chou today. If you haven't, go check out his discography on Spotify. But this is effectively my review, of Jay Chou's Common Jasmine Orange. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this review, if you did enjoy this music, please do go show Jay Chou some love via his various social medias and his Spotify page, as well as all the other websites that he's on. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on. And before I go, the next Jay Chou album will be a 6K subs, or 6,000 subscribers. So if you or someone you know would like me to review the 6th album, tell them to like and subscribe, and I'll make sure we get that 6th album done once we reach that milestone. But until then, have a fantastic weekend, stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next live stream, which will be tomorrow, but feel free to go check out the other stuff that we have on the YouTube channel as well, as there's literally hundreds of videos for you to check out. And especially the stuff over the last few months, I've been trying to make sure I put the auto captions on them, so they should be a little bit more easy to understand. Anyways, cheers again for watching this live stream. See you next thingamabobber. Spy hands out. And 3, 2, 1, and